let's have a look at 2G1C's film. Please welcome our second team on stage, 2G1C with two members, Nguyen, Ngoc, Climax Interactive, Luong, Trang, Mullenlowe, Vietnam. Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's start it now.
Hi. So I believe we don't have to tell you anymore of how Gen Z live up to their passion, right? We've all seen how they put their dedication into performing it. But the real question here is how many of them would go down with it until the end. Of course, we need validations, some sort of incentives. Like, for example, me and Ngoc here, that's why we're here, because we're Gen Z. We need some sort of incentive to keep us moving on with our passion. And second of all, let's look at all the media. We have big games like Olympics and e-sport events, and only the winners get all the attention and the sponsors eventually. So sad but true to say, after many times they fail without recognition, it's gonna be a barrier for them to keep moving on, and that they might get them quit pursuing their dream. So instead of just vaguely tell them to just do it or keep moving, we want Ông Bầu to take action. And because Ông Bầu means the sponsors in English, we want to make them the first sponsors ever in Vietnam to be the real supporter and take action for those Gen Z that brave enough to make epic attempts even if they fail. As long as they go all into what they love for their passions. So we introduce you the idea of the cup for epic fail because so even the failures here, Ông Bầu is going to be the real sponsors for them. For those who is brave enough to face all of the fail that they made, all of the hard attempts that they can go through, and as long as they go all in for their passions.
Yeah, so how can we start out this idea to all the channel? So first, we're gonna ignite our campaign by introducing a new cup design. We're gonna redesign sleeve into it might look like a champion cup, and we're gonna put on that sleeve some witty and fun quotes to motivate our youngsters. For example, when they laugh at your failed attempts, you laugh too. So our cups are not just normal cups of coffee, but the cups that daily motivation our youngsters who really dare to follow their passions. And along the way, we'll start a conversation of our three big sponsors, sponsor Hải, sponsor Đức, and sponsor Thắng, as inspiration for Gen Z. As you can see that they're all true role models from starting from the zero background and been through a lot of hardships and failed attempts.
Okay, I believe you've all seen the film and the message of that. That's how we invade the spirit of live through all passions. We define living true by using all of those failed attempts, even though it means joke to others. That is behind the scene for those Gen Z that they have put into their effort. So the story's gonna elaborate three wannabe personas of a gamer, a football player, and a music maker. So all of their attempt means nothing to others, but they made achievement. And at the end of the day, they deserve the cup from Ông Bầu as the epic fail for their achievements.
Yeah, and then we're going to utilize our microsite to hold a fun yet meaningful engagement. We're calling every Gen Z who is living true to their passions to submit their failed attempts to UMBO, and the one that have most failed attempts yet eventually achieve greatness will earn the grand prize, which is a real golden cup for epic fail. And besides that, we extend this activity from social to on ground. Besides our grand prize, UMBO still has other sponsors for the others. Like when Gen Z submit their failed attempts to the microsite to UMBO and share back to their Facebook or Instagram story, we will grant them a free cup of UMBO. And so that our cup of coffee can not only give them the physically energy, but also ease their pain for their failed attempts, and so that they can keep on moving and following their passions. And yeah, last but not least, when your failed attempt stories becoming someone else's inspirations, UMBO will feature them on LCD billboards real time.
So that would wrap up our whole flash mob campaign of the idea of the cup for epic fail. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Teacher Wansi. Now we're moving on to our Q&A session.
Yeah, do you want to ask some questions?
I think like it's quite clear. It's just one thing that I'm not quite understand the way they you guys choose the word epic fail here.
So I think we've all familiar with a saying in Vietnam, which is failure is mother of success. So there's nothing wrong or negative about fail, and we persuading Gen Z for keep making epic attempt, even though you are failed, just keep going on, and UMBO is gonna be there to be the biggest sponsor for them. That's why we chose the term the epic fail.
Yeah, it's very clear, and I think like what I like about the fact that, you know, most of the brand, especially if you are like the big brand, they always sponsor the big name, right? Like all the KOL, celebrity, but that's not gonna win a heart. And now we all wanna win a heart of the Gen Z, which is like they just starting point. And today you guys wanna make the cup, and which really link back to the UMBO, the cup that for the epic fail, which is smart. I have only like one thing. So because like on the engaging, right, part, you were saying like submit the most fail. I think that it's very fun to do it, but you're not gonna see the along the way, right? You're gonna see like just the one that they fail. So I mean, if I can suggest, that would be like if you can document from the day one, like they are fucking fail. Sorry, they are very fail.
Fine, we're all creative.
I'm fail now, yeah. Like from the day one to like the day the worm become the butterfly. This would be like amazing.
Thank you for sharing.
Just a question, but first, good job for this presentation. I think it's a bold idea. One of the few very bold ideas, which is good. And I hear from the client, even from the CEO, about some good comments. So that's quite interesting as well. I think back to the question, the Q&A thing, because at the end of the day, it's film and integrated category, right? I see a microsite. Microsite is not something that is largely done recently, right? Because it's kind of difficult to drive individual into a specific site compared to drive to social. So what was your rationale to bring that to life in microsite instead of bringing the similar mechanic on social? What was your thinking about when you decided to go with a microsite?
It's like a hub for collecting the epic attempts, let's say, because right now you see on social media they are thrilled with the trend like 10 years old of me. So Gen Z is a generation of blossom. They're not afraid to show themselves of their dark side. They want to express them to the max. So that's why we chose the microsite for Gen Z to freely show their inspiration stories for others.
But for your opinion, Gen Z will be more attracted to go on the microsite than on social. That's what you're saying, is it?
Yeah, so they can bring their stories from microsite to their social as well to earn incentives from online.
Okay, I think that's a better answer. Yeah,
Thank you.
I think it's the end of the Q&A sessions. Thank you, juries. And once again.